Have you ever stopped to consider a terrifying yet liberating truth? This video, the device you are watching it on, and the very room you are sitting in, did not truly exist in a fixed state until you directed your conscious attention toward them. You are about to discover the hidden mechanics of the observer effect and the quantum field. By the time this transmission ends, you will awaken to your true, undeniable power as the supreme creator of your physical reality. Tell me, have you ever felt that invisible force, a strange synchronicity, whispering that your thoughts are somehow shaping your world? To understand the magnitude of what we are about to reveal, we must step outside the rigid boundaries of classical science and enter the mystical realm of the quantum field. In this infinite space, reality is not made of solid, unchangeable matter. It is composed of waves of probability, an endless ocean of pure potential, where every conceivable past, present, and future exists simultaneously. Nothing is real until it is observed. However, observation is not merely looking at something with your physical eyes. In the esoteric sense, observation is a profoundly active process. It is the act of pointing the focused laser beam of your consciousness onto a specific frequency, forcing the infinite wave to collapse into a physical particle of experience. You are not witnessing the world, you are generating it. Have you ever felt that the world around you is not as solid as it seems? Look around you right now. Everything you see, touch, and interact with feels absolute, fixed, and unchangeable. But what if I told you that this solidity is the greatest illusion of your existence? The chair you are sitting on, the screen you are watching, the circumstances of your life, they are not solid matter. They are vibrating energy, a swirling mass of infinite probabilities waiting for a command. You've been taught to believe that you are a passive passenger in this universe, reacting to a reality that is already built. This is the grand deception. You are not inside reality. You are the architect generating it frame by frame. Every second, your consciousness is collapsing waves of infinite potential into the particles of your specific daily experience. When you finally grasp this, everything changes. The question is not whether you are creating your reality, but how you are creating it. Most people do this entirely on autopilot, repeating the same past experiences into their future. But today, we break that cycle. We are going to introduce a glitch into your matrix, a specific frequency that shatters the illusion of the fixed world forever. The secret key to hacking this quantum system is deceptively simple. It is a two-word phrase that you use every day, but rarely with conscious intent. That phrase is, what if? Most human beings use what if as an instrument of fear. They ask, what if I fail? What if I lose my job? What if I get sick? In doing so, they are actively commanding the quantum field to collapse around their worst nightmares. Because the universe does not hear words, it feels frequencies. When you ask a fear-based question, you emit a highly condensed wave of panic, and the observer effect instantly materializes proof to validate that fear. But what happens when you reverse this polarity? What happens when you consciously hijack this mechanism and ask a high-frequency, what if? What if this is the best day of my life? What if unexpected wealth is flowing to me right now? By simply posing these questions, you are not just thinking positively. You are literally prying open a closed door in the fabric of space and time. You are directing your awareness away from the known past and shining a massive spotlight on a previously invisible, parallel potential. You force the universe to reorganize itself to answer your new question. Let us dive deeper into the mechanics of how thoughts actually collapse reality. In quantum physics, a particle does not exist in a specific place until it is observed. Until that moment of observation, it exists as a wave of probability. It is everywhere and nowhere all at once. Your life is exactly the same. Tomorrow does not exist as a fixed event. It exists as a massive wave of infinite probabilities. There is a timeline where you are wealthy, a timeline where you are struggling, a timeline where you are deeply in love, and a timeline where you are alone. All of them are equally real, existing side by side in the invisible quantum field. When you ask a conscious, what if question, you become the active observer. You cast your gaze upon a specific desired timeline. The The moment your focused attention locks onto that potential, the wave function collapses. The infinite possibilities vanish, and the single reality you observed becomes solid matter. Your thought is the laser beam that selects the outcome. Therefore, a conscious question is not just a mental exercise, it is a mathematical command sent into the blueprint of the universe, demanding that a specific wave of potential become your physical experience. But thought alone is not enough. This is where millions of people fail when they try to manifest a new reality. They repeat empty affirmations, they ask the right questions, but nothing changes. Why? Because while your thought sends the electrical signal into the quantum field, it is your emotion that acts as the magnetic pull, drawing the event back to you. The thought is the steering wheel, but the emotion is the engine. When you ask, "What if I am already completely healed?" you cannot ask it with a feeling of desperation or doubt. Desperation is a signal of lack. You are telling the universe you do not have it, and the universe will give you more of not having it. You must ask the question and immediately step into the emotional frequency of the answer. You must feel the profound relief, the joy, the overwhelming gratitude of already being in that new reality. This is the true art of the observer effect. You observe the potential reality with your mind, and you anchor it into the physical dimension with your heart. When the electrical thought of the question combines with the magnetic emotion of the answer, you create an electromagnetic signature that the universe cannot ignore. It must respond. Imagine the quantum field as a giant, infinite mirror. A mirror does not judge, it does not argue, and it does not decide what to reflect. It simply bounces back exactly what stands in front of it. The universe is this mirror, and your state of being is what is standing in front of it. When you walk around in a state of victimhood, believing that life is happening to you, the quantum mirror reflects back circumstances that prove you are a victim. It gives you difficult people, unexpected bills, and physical exhaustion. But when you deploy the power of what if, you are radically changing what you are showing to the mirror. You stand before the infinite intelligence and ask, what if everything is working out in my highest favor? Suddenly your posture changes, your breathing changes, your energetic frequency rises. The quantum mirror has no choice but to adjust the reflection. It begins to arrange coincidences, opportunities, and sudden strokes of luck to match this new image. The reality you experience tomorrow is simply the echo of the frequency you are emitting today. By changing the question, you change the frequency, and the mirror instantly begins to reshape the holographic projection you call your life. To master this, you must understand the process of dehypnotizing yourself from past patterns. Right now, your brain is a highly complex record of your past. Every habit, every reaction, every belief is a neurological pathway carved deeply by repetition. You wake up, check your phone, feel the same anxiety, drive the same route, and see the same people. You are caught in a loop, a trance of familiarity. You are hypnotized into believing that your past equals your future. The conscious use of what if is the ultimate pattern interrupt. It is a shock to the nervous system. When you are in the middle of a stressful situation at work, and you suddenly pause, take a breath, and ask, what if this is actually a massive hidden blessing? You stop firing the old neural networks. You literally cut the energetic cord to the predictable future. In that split second of curiosity, your brain creates a new neurological link. You open a void, a space of pure potential. In this state of suspended disbelief, the hypnosis of the past is broken. You are no longer a victim of your memories. You become a pioneer of your future. You step out of the river of time and stand on the banks, ready to choose a completely new current. Think of the question, what if, as a mystical portal, a literal stargate in your mind. Whenever you are faced with a limitation, a locked door in your physical reality, your logical brain will tell you that there is no way out. The logical brain is only capable of analyzing what has already happened. It cannot see into the infinite quantum field. But the moment you whisper the words, what if, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the creative center of your brain. You bypass the survival mechanisms. You are essentially telling the universe, I am willing to suspend my belief in this limitation. What if I could double my income doing what I love? What if my body possesses a miraculous ability to regenerate right now? These questions do not demand immediate logical answers. They are not meant to be solved by your rational mind. They are meant to be dropped into the vast ocean of consciousness like heavy stones, creating ripples that stretch out into infinity. The universe takes that vibration and begins to weave a new timeline. You do not need to know the how. The how is the domain of the quantum field. Your only job is to open the portal with your question and step through it with your elevated emotion. Let us examine the anatomy of a quantum choice. Every day, you are faced with thousands of micro-decisions. Most of them are made unconsciously, dictated by the program running in your subconscious mind. But every now and then, you face a moment of friction, a moment where the old you wants to react with anger, fear, or sadness, but a deeper awareness prompts you to pause. This is the crux of the observer effect in action. In this fraction of a second, multiple realities overlap. The timeline where you scream in anger exists right next to the timeline where you smile in peaceful detachment. The bridge between these two timelines is your conscious attention. If you blindly react, you collapse the wave of the old, familiar timeline. But if you stop and ask, what if I choose peace instead? What if I observe this without judgment? You starve the old reality of its energy. Reality needs your attention to sustain itself. By redirecting your focus through a new question, you literally withdraw life force from the negative event. You collapse the wave of peace into physical form. You become a conscious editor of your reality, cutting out the scenes of suffering and splicing in the scenes of mastery. As you begin to practice this, you will notice an immediate shift in your environment. The quantum field communicates with you through a language known as synchronicity. Synchronicities are not random coincidences. They are highly orchestrated winks from the universe, confirming that your new frequency is being received. You might ask, what if I am exactly where I need to be? And within an hour, you see a sequence of repeating numbers like 1111, or you bump into an old friend who gives you the exact piece of advice you needed. This is the field giving you direct, real-time feedback. When these synchronicities occur, you must not brush them off as mere chance. To ignore a synchronicity is to tell the field that you are asleep. Instead, you must acknowledge them, feel a surge of excitement and gratitude. Say out loud, I see this, I am the creator of this. By validating the sign, you amplify the magnetic pull of your new timeline. You create a feedback loop of positive creation. The more you notice the magic, the more magic the universe will present for you to notice. Your life transforms from a series of random, chaotic events into a beautifully choreographed dance between your consciousness and the cosmos. Have you ever experienced a sudden, intense feeling of déjà vu? That eerie sensation that you have lived this exact moment before? Society dismisses this as a glitch in the brain, a simple misfiring of neurons. But from a quantum perspective, déjà vu is something entirely different. It is a moment of profound alignment. It is the sensation of two timelines intersecting. When you consciously use what if to shift your trajectory, you are moving toward a timeline that already exists in the field. When you finally arrive at a critical juncture on that new path, your higher self, which exists outside of linear time, recognizes the milestone. Déjà vu is the echo of your future self saying, yes, you made it. You are on the right track. It is a confirmation that you have successfully navigated the labyrinth of probabilities and arrived at the destination you previously observed in your mind. The next time you feel that strange wave of familiarity, do not ignore it. Stop, breathe it in, and realize the immense power you wield. You are remembering your future. You are standing in the exact spot you unconsciously or consciously commanded the universe to bring you to. You are the master of the matrix. It is absolutely crucial to understand the danger of unconscious questioning. Just as a positive what if can elevate you to a reality of pure joy, a negative what if can drag you into a timeline of absolute despair. Anxiety is nothing more than the observer effect running wild in the wrong direction. When you lie awake at night, imagining worst-case scenarios, asking, what if everything falls apart? You are not just worrying, you are actively rehearsing a tragic future. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a real event and an event created purely by thought. As you visualize the disaster, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. You are feeling the emotion of the disaster before it happens. Remember, Thought sends the signal. Emotion draws the event. By obsessing over negative outcomes, you are sending a massive, highly magnetized order to the quantum field, demanding chaos. You are acting as a powerful creator, but you are creating your own destruction. The universe does not protect you from your own commands. It honors your free will completely. If you insist on observing failure, the field will dutifully collapse the wave of probability to bring you failure. Wake up to this mechanism. The moment you catch yourself spiraling into a timeline of anxiety, you must execute a quantum pivot. You must realize that the very fact you can imagine a worst-case scenario proves you have the power to imagine a best-case scenario. The energy is the same, only the direction is different. Stop the spiral immediately by saying out loud, cancel, clear. Then, forcefully inject a new question into your consciousness. What if this situation is actually the catalyst for my greatest breakthrough? What if the universe is removing this obstacle to make room for a miracle? You must ask these questions with aggressive curiosity. You must fight for your focus. At first, your logical brain will resist. It will scream that the danger is real. But if you hold the frequency of the new question long enough, the chemistry of your body will begin to change. The fear will dissolve, replaced by a profound sense of anticipation. You have just taken the steering wheel back from your subconscious programming. You have stopped the collapse of the negative wave and initiated the collapse of a glorious new potential. This is the discipline of the master manifester. You do not ignore the negative, you simply refuse to give it your creative life force. Let us bring this immense cosmic power into the mundane reality of your daily life. The observer effect is not just for manifesting millions of dollars or curing incurable diseases. It is active in every single moment, in the smallest of details. Think about your morning commute. Usually you expect traffic, you expect frustration, and so the field delivers exactly what you expect. But what if you step into your car tomorrow and ask, what if the roads are completely clear for me today? What if my journey is peaceful and filled with joy? Apply this to every interaction. Before you walk into a meeting, ask, what if this is the most productive and harmonious conversation we have ever had? Before you check your bank account, ask, what if I am pleasantly surprised by the abundance I see? By seeding your day with these micro-intentions, you are laying down a golden path of favorable probabilities ahead of you. You are clearing the energetic debris before you even physically arrive at the event. You will start to notice that people treat you differently, obstacles magically dissolve, and life becomes astonishingly easy. This is not magic, it is physics. You are simply pre-paving your reality with conscious observation. One of the greatest paradoxes of this quantum journey is the necessity of detachment. You must ask the question, feel the emotion of the outcome, and then, this is the hardest part for the human ego, you must completely let it go. You must surrender it into the void. If you ask, what if I receive a massive sum of money today, and then spend the rest of the day obsessively checking your phone, looking for the money, you have ruined the manifestation. Why? Because obsession is rooted in doubt. By constantly checking, you are signaling to the field that you do not believe it has happened. You are collapsing the wave of waiting and lacking. To truly master the observer effect, you must step into a state of deep trust. You ask the question, you feel the reality, and then you detach. You move through your day with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the universe is already working on the delivery. You live in a state of relaxed expectation. The quantum field operates best in the space of surrender. When you let go of the how and the when, you allow the infinite intelligence to orchestrate the fastest, most harmonious route to your desire. True power is knowing you have commanded the field and resting in that absolute knowing. To amplify your results exponentially, you must understand the role of the heart-brain. Modern science has discovered that the heart is not just a pump, it is a highly complex sensory organ with its own nervous system. More importantly, the heart generates an electromagnetic field that is thousands of times stronger than the field generated by the brain. When we talk about sending a signal into the quantum field, your brain is the antenna. but your heart is the massive broadcasting station. If your mind is asking a positive, what if, question, but your heart is closed, tight, and filled with old resentment, the signal is jammed. The universe receives a confused, chaotic frequency. To create a clear, piercing beam of manifestation, you must achieve heart-brain coherence. As you ask your quantum question, physically place your hand on your heart. Breathe deeply into the center of your chest. Cultivate a feeling of profound love, deep appreciation, or immense gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. When you combine the clear intention of your mind with the elevated, coherent emotion of your heart, you create an unstoppable force. You become a literal magnet for miracles. The field has no choice but to yield to a coherent heart. As you consistently apply this practice, you are doing something far more profound than just changing your external circumstances. You are actually overwriting the neurological hard drive of your physical body. You see, your body is essentially an animal that has been trained to memorize the emotional chemical cocktails of your past. If you have lived in stress for 10 years, your cells literally crave the chemistry of stress. When you start asking new, what-if questions and feeling new elevated emotions, your body will rebel. It will send signals of doubt and discomfort to your brain, begging for the familiar hit of anxiety. This is the moment of truth. You must not yield. You must recognize this discomfort as the death of the old self. Every time you hold the new frequency despite the body's resistance, you are firing and wiring new neural pathways. You are instructing your DNA to express new genes. You are literally biologically upgrading your vessel to hold a higher frequency of reality. It takes immense willpower, but soon, the new state of being becomes your default. You no longer have to try to manifest. You become a walking, breathing manifestation of abundance. Your very presence begins to alter the reality of everyone around you. How do you know when the shift is actually happening? The transition from one quantum timeline to another is rarely silent. Your physical body and your immediate environment will show clear symptoms of the energetic upgrade. You may experience sudden, unexplained fatigue as your nervous system rewires itself to carry a higher voltage of cosmic energy. You might feel a tingling sensation at the top of your head or pressure in the center of your forehead, as your pineal gland activates to perceive broader spectrums of reality. In your external life, things might temporarily appear to fall apart. Relationships that no longer match your new frequency will abruptly end. Jobs that keep you small will suddenly disappear. The ego will interpret this as a disaster, but the quantum architect knows better. This is the cosmic clearing. The universe is bulldozing the old structures to make room for the grand palace you have commanded it to build. When the chaos hits, do not panic. Do not drop your frequency. Stand firm in the storm and ask, what if this destruction is actually a divine rearrangement? The faster you embrace the shedding of the old, the faster the new timeline materializes in brilliant physical form. In this heightened state of awareness, you will begin to experience what we call quantum downloads. These are sudden, massive flashes of insight that seemingly come from nowhere. You will be taking a shower or walking in nature, and instantly, a complete, brilliant idea will drop into your mind. You will suddenly know exactly what business to start, what book to write, or how to heal a fractured relationship. This is not your logical brain figuring things out. This is your consciousness accessing a higher dimension of the quantum field, where the solution already exists. When a download occurs, you must honor it with immediate action. The universe rewards momentum. If you receive a brilliant idea, and then let your logical mind talk you out of it, you close the portal. You tell the field that you do not trust its guidance. But if you take even one small physical step toward that idea, you lock the new timeline into place. You prove to the universe that you are a willing and active co-creator. These sudden insights are the breadcrumbs leading you out of the maze of ordinary existence and into the realm of the extraordinary. Follow them blindly, for they are the whispers of your ultimate destiny calling you home. The ultimate challenge is not accessing this new reality, but sustaining it. It is easy to feel powerful while watching a video like this. But what happens tomorrow when you are faced with a rude person, an unexpected bill, or a physical pain? The temptation to slip back into the hypnotic trance of victimhood will be immense. To sustain the new timeline, you must become a ruthless guardian of your consciousness. You must police your thoughts and emotions with absolute discipline. Treat your attention as the most valuable currency in the universe, because it literally is. Stop spending it on low-frequency news, toxic gossip, and endless complaints. You cannot consume the poison of the world and expect to radiate the light of a creator. Build a daily practice of quantum calibration. Start every morning by asking a profound, "What if?" setting your energetic signature before you even touch your phone. Throughout the day, use the question as an anchor to pull you back to the present moment. Reality is incredibly malleable, but it requires a steady hand. The more consistent you are with your frequency, the more solid and permanent your new miraculous timeline becomes. You transition from a momentary visitor to a permanent resident of your dream life. We have journeyed deep into the mechanics of the universe, but everything we have discussed leads to one ultimate, shattering truth. You are not a tiny, insignificant human trying to manipulate a massive, separate universe. The separation is the final illusion. You are the universe. You are the infinite quantum field experiencing itself through a localized point of consciousness. The observer and the observed are exactly the same thing. When you ask, "What if?" it is not a person asking a question to a distant god. It is the source energy playing with its own infinite potential. You have never been a victim of reality. You have only ever been a victim of your own unconscious commands. As you step into this absolute knowing, fear dissolves, doubt evaporates. You realize that there is nothing outside of you that can dictate your state of being. You hold the pen, you write the script, and you project the movie onto the screen of space and time. You are the alpha and the omega of your personal experience. Embrace this staggering power. Stop asking what the world is going to do to you, and start commanding what you are going to do to the world. The Matrix is waiting for your orders. What will you create next? Every concept, every technique, and every truth revealed today culminates in one profound realization. You are not existing inside of reality. You are reality observing its own infinite reflection. You are the supreme architect, collapsing waves of potential into physical form through the sheer force of your attention. You now know that asking the right question is the ultimate cheat code to the universe. Thank you for tuning in to this transmission. If this message resonated with your soul, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to align your energetic signature with ours. To permanently anchor this new frequency into your timeline, type this exact phrase in the comments below. I am the conscious observer, commanding my new reality. Before you go, reflect on this. What unexpected signs or synchronicities have you noticed in your life since you started observing your thoughts?